They do want people to remain vigilant because they do have concerns about the rivers cresting later this week. It wasn't at a complete stop like we heard that it has been in the past. Last month, protesters walked up these stairs and into the Charleston County School Board meeting. Now, once they got inside here, they started protesting that the district needs to do something to educate their kids. It looks like the wind has just leveled this right here. I am in the car. It is 3:30 p.m. on Friday, 45 minutes now on the clock, starting to get a headache with so many complaints for late buses. I wanted to see how late the bus was myself and see if the kids would get to school on time. It's now past 8:30. The first bell has rang at Wando High School and class is starting. This bus is still 4 miles away. Aaron and Michael have said that it feels like little needles hitting you with the wind and the rain. They hit the nail on the head. You can see just how big these waves are. Of the 4,000 referrals, nearly 2,000 were never handled by the school or the district. That means nearly half went unanswered.
It's extremely frustrating.
Christina McCarthy says she has been dealing with bus issues
Consecutively late
in the Charleston County School District for years.
because the bus wasn't here.
And she's not alone.
There's oftentimes they're out there for at least an hour waiting for a bus.
Parents complained to the school district about buses more than 100 times over the span of 2 weeks in February, saying their kids had to wait for the bus for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. And one of the complaints shows students waited an hour and 45 minutes. After talking with Christina, I spent the morning out at her daughter's bus stop, where she says the bus is supposed to come at 7:30. The bus didn't come this morning until right before 8 o'clock. The first bell rings at 8:20. The bus wasn't going straight to school. It still had half the route to finish, and the clock is ticking. It's 8:20, which means the first warning bell has gone off at Wando High School, but we're still more than 7 miles away from the school, and as kids should be walking to class, they're still waiting for the bus. It's now 8:30 and the first bell just rang at Wando High School, which means these kids are officially late. And nearly 10 minutes later, the bus just pulled onto campus and it's 8:38, meaning those kids are at least 8 minutes late for school. And they still have to walk to their classrooms.
The longest she's had to wait was an hour and 30 minutes.
Christina says sometimes a bus never shows up at all.
She's missed 2 days of school, the whole day this year, due to buses not being here on time.
Other complaints to the transportation department show parents pleading for something to be done. One parent upset her children waited in the cold and rain for up to 50 minutes, not knowing when the bus will come despite the Remind app. That's an app often used by schools that notifies parents of late bus times. So far this year, there have been almost 3,000 bus-related complaints submitted to the district, which pays Durham School Services nearly $900,000 a year to run the majority of its buses.
There's a few different things we've looked at to try to help alleviate that.
Jeff Scott oversees these concerns coming into the transportation department.
Tuesday drop-off was delayed over 30 minutes.
Right.
Does the district find that acceptable since you guys, pay this company to do
Right.
this?
If the complaint is true, so what you have is the actual complaint, and not everything that is listed in the complaint log, when it's investigated, turns out to be the truth. But no, we don't find it acceptable. That's why we're withholding. The 10% is because they don't have 100% running every day.
And the complaints keep coming in. This one says no-show buses are, quote, absolutely ridiculous and there is no reason for it. I get you can't find qualified drivers, but you have a contract to fulfill. Another parent worries they don't have the luxury of driving their kid to school. So it's not just an inconvenience, it's a safety issue. Christina agrees.
My main concern is her being kidnapped.
Scott says the problem is a bus driver shortage, and it's not just local, it's nationwide.
Where we're at now is the buses are having to come back because they don't have a bus to run. It's not because of an overcrowding issue, it's because that particular route may not have a bus driver, which is a little bit different than the overcrowding.
So once a driver finishes one route, they circle around to start another. Christina says her daughter is late getting home too.
So Monday she didn't get home until about 5:15 because the bus was going to be an hour late coming back to pick them up to bring them home.
Durham Bus Services says they acknowledge they need to bring on more drivers. They've been hosting job fairs and are offering to pay drivers more. But it's a hard to fill position with odd hours. The district has brought in another company to help run bus routes. But as we found out, students are still losing classroom time. We dive into that tomorrow. In Charleston County, Colby Satterfield, Live 5 News.